Hi, just letting you know that I've been doing a study on the Gospel of Barnabas and learned that it's not what I thought it was. I thought, well, I want to tell you something. I thought there was a Gospel of Barnabas where Jesus went to the cross and then laughed at his body as it was being crucified. Now that might have been a Gospel of Barnabas, I'm not sure, or it could have been the letter of or letters or epistle of Barnabas. I'm not really sure. I don't think I read the letter or epistle of Barnabas. But anyway, Muslims say no, that's not what happened, because in the Gospel of Barnabas, Barnabas really did. In the Gospel of Barnabas, Jesus doesn't go to the cross, and then I discovered that there really is a Muslim Gospel of Barnabas that the Muslims are trying to get us to believe was written around 500 AD. Yeah, before the Quran, because if it's written after the Quran, then that means the Quran is not the final. It's not the final revelation, and that it means that Muhammad is not the seal of the prophets. So anything that comes after the Quran has to be fiction, or the Quran's a lie about it being about the Quran being the final revelation and Muhammad being the seal of the prophets. But guess what I discovered? The Gospel of Barnabas really is a medieval document. It's a forgery, and it has, well, the reason why is because it talks about medieval things. The biggest one to me was the Denarius, which is a Spanish coin in the Middle Ages, not during the time of Jesus. It also talks about penance, which is a Catholic thing, which was not in the time of Jesus. Talks about courtiers, who, you know, that's like in castles and things like that. Talks about fistula, which is mentioned in chapter 120, page 275. That's a medieval practice of draining things from your body. Then there's also the contradictions in the Quran. Mary doesn't have any. Oh, excuse me. In the Gospel of Barnabas, Mary doesn't have any pain having Jesus, but in the Quran, she wishes she died and was forgotten. So apparently that's how bad the pain is when she's having Jesus. So there's a contradiction in the Quran. And also in the Gospel of Barnabas, Jesus can't read when he's 12 years old. Yet in the Gospels, he's able to go to synagogues and astound people, and in the Quran he's able to preach from the cradle and all that stuff. So there's another little contradiction there. Also, the Gospel of Barnabas is written in a Venetian and Tuscan dialect, and it's written in Italian. Now, if it were written during the time of Jesus, or even 500 years after Jesus, it should be in Latin, you know, but it's not. It's in Italian with Venetian and Tuscan dialects. And see what else here. Oh yeah, it mentions Canaanites in the time of Jesus, and there were no Canaanites in the time of Jesus. Also, it says there was a great famine in Jesus' time. Like in Jerusalem, there was no famine at that time. When Jesus, see, oh, it mentions that Jesus is punished by Allah for people thinking he's God. You know, there's no mention of that in the Injil or even the Quran. So that's extra revelation if it was written after the Quran. See here. Oh, Samaria doesn't have Samaria doesn't have mountains. It has one mountain, not a bunch of mountains. Let's see what else. Oh, it says in the Gospel of Barnabas that if you, a Muslim, don't do works, you'll be in hell for 700,000 years. Okay, and also in the Gospel of Barnabas, it says that Allah is a father. That goes against the Quran, and that we are his children. See what else here. Oh, it says in the Gospel of Barnabas that Muhammad will go to hell and be terrified to see what's happening to those in there. Oh, and also it says that Nazareth is something you can it said that Jesus took a boat to Nazareth, but Nazareth is an inland. It's an inland town, not a. It's not on the seashore. Oh, let's see what else. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, it mentions the denarius will be divided into. This is chapter 54. It mentions the denarius, which again is a Spanish coin. You know, they didn't have denariuses in the time of Jesus, and they didn't. From what I can tell, they didn't have them in 500 AD either. Yeah. It also mentions in the Gospel of Barnabas Adam's apple. Adam's apple was a medieval thing, because in the Gospel of Barnabas it says that when Adam ate the fruit, he tried to put his hand down to get out, and that's how we have Adam's apples. But no one ever talked about Adam's apples until the medieval times. Okay. Oh, it says that Pilate was a governor when Jesus was born. That means he's old during the time. Let's see here. What else here? And Jesus supposedly taught his followers to go on a pilgrimage. But a pilgrimage to where? When the Kaaba was full of idols, you know. So where's this thing about going on the Hajj and all that, going on a pilgrimage? Okay, chapter 89, page 207. Jesus taught to go on a pilgrimage, yeah. And where? When the Kaaba was full of. Oh, another one. It says a jubilee is 100 years, but a jubilee was never 100 years until a pope around in the Middle Ages made it 100 years. It wasn't a Jewish thing. 100 years. That was the Middle Ages when they made a jubilee 100 years. Oh, it also mentions knights and courtiers. Oh, it says that Judas says that Judas, when he became Jesus, he was dressed as a juggler. And guess what? Jugglers were entertainment of the Middle Ages, not during the time of Jesus. Yeah. Oh, it says the Prodigal Son is talking about having a hose, and hoses were not during the time of Jesus or 500 years after the time of Jesus. That hose is a medieval thing. Yeah. And that's chapter 147, page 141. So, it mentions pine cones. And pine cones, they're not common in the Middle East. Palm trees, yeah, stuff like that. But pine cones, yeah. Oh, let's see what else here. Turkish. One other thing. The binding on that Gospel of Barnabas, guess what? The book binding is very similar to a Turkish document of 1575 in the Venetian archives. And, of course, this Gospel of Barnabas is in a Venetian and Tuscan dialect. Yeah. Oh, and the first Quran in Italy, the first Quran in Italian, came out in 1547. So just let you know that. Bye.